Hello everybody, this is Duke White. You're watching another episode of Real Life with Duke White. This is our 4th season. We're here with the man, Robert Shepard, author of Delay is Not Denial, actor of Lucifer and the Father, Lincoln, Evan Almighty. You've done it all. You know what I mean? You are such a powerful inspiration. And I tell him all the time, I just told him, like, hey, you've also played as my conscience. When I want to go insane on Facebook, a lot of people see me go close to insane, but now I have him and Pastor Tim Ritter. They're going to be stalking my Facebook page to keep me in line. But I appreciate you taking the time to come here. Thank you so much.
Well, Duke, it's my pleasure. I appreciate being here, and I love this place you have found. It's awesome.
The theater is amazing. The family has done such a wonderful job. Pastor Tim Ritter's family and himself, they're a theater family, so they just put everything together. They are family pastors, and they just did such a wonderful job on it. So I'm glad you like it, man.
Yeah, it is great.
This is how I knew they were a little crazy, because they were like, "Yeah, come on." That's theater for you. Well, let's get right into this. I want to start with the book because I am greatly concerned for a lot of creative people who disqualify themselves because they say you know how rejection is. Rejection has a voice. It resonates with us. So 5 or 6 auditions in and people say no, and then you want to throw away your dreams. But your book speaks directly to that. Delay is not denial. So
yes, but it took a long time for me to finally get that dream. But I think the point is, if you feel like that God has given you something to do, then don't give up.
Right.
Because it becomes, it's part of His challenge too, to help you get through all of those things. So it took me a long time. I was this little country boy in the Ozarks, and I loved movies, and I wanted to be in movies, but I couldn't figure out how to get there. So with some starts and stops and various and sundry things, and got married and had a family, but that desire never ever left to be an actor. And so, and then I look back and I see all the different things that I went through that really helped prepare me for the time when actually I could begin to do what I wanted to do. And another thing is, our timing and God's timing are not the same.
2 different things.
So, but ultimately now I have been a full-time actor for the last 30 years. Even though it took a long time to finally get there.
So when do you say when you knew that there was some consistency that this was actually going to happen?
Actually, it was when I retired from the military. But when my assignment was at Fort Monroe, which is now deactivated, but I thought it would probably be my last assignment. So I got an agent before I ever retired from the Army, and I started booking jobs. I actually booked a series of Hardee's commercials that I became SAG eligible. So I had a headshot. I was starting to get resume credits, and by the time I retired, I had a fairly good resume. I'd actually made some money, and I had actually crossed over to get into the Actors Union as well. So when I retired, a lot of things were already set up to go.
There's a lot of people, we're going to have just a quick professional conversation. There's a lot of people afraid of SAG. Why are people afraid of SAG?
Well, I think everybody has to decide whether it's going to be right for them or not.
Gotcha.
And in all honesty, there are pockets, and ours is kind of one of them, in which actually there are not really a lot of union projects. Yeah. So a person has to decide. I actually ended up not having a choice, because after I became eligible through Hardee's, I auditioned for a role on Homicide.
That required.
And then they said, hey buddy, you gotta come by and pay your dues or you're not gonna get that job. So
in case you want to know what SAG, to be a part of the union, it's an actors union. Well, you'll be able to explain it better than I could.
Yeah, it's actually SAG and AFTRA. Which SAG used to be motion pictures, AFTRA was more television, video, but they've come together. They're one union, and especially depending upon where you live. If you're going to be living in a major city and you can become a member of SAG, I would recommend it. It's going to be worthwhile. Sure.
There is a guarantee that you'll be protected. They take their fees, of course, but you're protected. So there's, just make sure you know what you're looking to. If you want to take this seriously, because this is the entertainment business.
It is.
You know what I mean?
And
so as a man of faith, did you find it difficult to maneuver through that? Because not every role is a faith-based role that you've played, and even for just the business itself. So how do you carry yourself as a man of faith through the entertainment business?
I try to look at it and try to see what is the value of that particular role, Not everything has to be, I don't think, faith-based for us to work. And I also have this feeling, Duke, that as Christians, we have an obligation to kind of be some salt and light out into that industry as well.
Yeah.
So you might be working on one, and it may not be a faith-based. In fact, it could be far from it. But you're going to be interacting with people all day. So the way you carry yourself, the way you interact, the way you treat people, it's a witness. It's a witness without even having to say, I'm a Christian, I think.
Now, before I jump the gun, which I almost did, because there's so much I want to talk to you about, I want to get back to the book, because in the book, you did explain that where you were coming from, you went through the military, but I'd love for you to just talk about what that really means. Because when I hear delay is not denial, there's this place where you still have to learn how to trust God. What was that process like when you I'm going to make myself trust God through this?
Well, I think probably the time it became the most dramatic, and it would take all day to quite build the background, but I'll try to make it short. I had gotten out of the Army after I made my initial commitment, and we moved to LA so I could follow this dream of being an actor. And I actually had gotten an agent for commercials. I had done some extra work. I had everything was pretty well. I'd made some progress out in the big place of LA. And then we were expecting our first child, and my wife gave birth to our daughter, and 10 days later my wife had an aneurysm. But she was miraculously, totally, completely restored. But at that point I felt like I did not have I wasn't ready to keep pursuing acting at that particular point. We had accrued a pretty big hospital bill at that point. I wanted to make sure we had this little baby that we had to take care of. So we decided we were going to move back to the Ozarks again and live on the family farm. But before we left, I felt very specifically that God said to me, delay is not denial.
The devil tried to take me, but Christ ain't gonna let me go. This world gon' try to break me, whatever, I can't let it show. I'ma go off instead, I'ma go off instead, I'ma go off instead, I'ma go off instead. The devil trying to take me, but Christ ain't gonna let me go. This world gon' try to break me, whatever, I can't let it show. I'ma go off instead, I'ma go off instead, I'ma go off instead, I'ma go off instead. I don't think they know what I'm capable of. I be pegging out like I'm analog. There's only one guy who made one star. You won't find another me in catalog. I got the Lord at the head of my thoughts, so I ain't gotta report to synagogues. I know who he is, he the son of God. Plus the Father and Spirit on one accord. So I got them balls that hit like a runaway train on the track with a parked car. I made it out of the trap star. Got no limits like a black car. Y'all play God like from Asgard. When I pray to God, I just ask for a floodgates to open like a cash drawer. Just reap a sword, then I pay it for it. The spirit on me, they say I'm anointed and I ain't winning disappoint. I just pray they get the point. The devil looking to exploit. For that street light, pay the steep price, had me facing letters in the joint. Now they may see me on the wings though, cause I got Jesus at the point. Can't turn my back cause these haters gon' front, let them go ahead and say what they want. I'ma pray so my pastors and haunt me. These predators pray so I stay on the hunt. And I don't feel the taunt of my enemy. They see the hand of my Lord is defending me. So I don't know who y'all gon' pretend to be, but I'ma play the man I was sent to be. The devil trying to take me, but Christ ain't gonna let me go. This world gon' try to break me, whatever, I can't let it show. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. The devil trying to take me, but Christ ain't gonna let me go. This world gon' try to break me, whatever, I can't let it show. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I need an epicenosis. I want the full experience and appearance from you to recover my focus. They claim to be Christian, but what does they hope lie when the trouble's approaching? And they out on that front line. Enemy got to jump and they call it encroachment. But they ain't no offside. So I sit at the side where my Jesus resides. Took the sting out of death when he hung and he died. Now he sit at the side with a flame in his eye and the voices like thunder that's cracking the sky. I get it cracking, I'm fly. I'm a grown man through the challenges aside. Got a promised land, I protect till I die. Give it the program and get this army beside me. I'm off the leash, it's souls in these streets that I gotta reach. The victory's ours, they suffer defeat. So I'm crushing the enemy's head with the heel of my feet. Head to IQ, he killing the beat. It's cause of my IQ, I stay with a link. Y'all go ahead and stay with a drip. I got living waters overflowing, I sip. I done took off like I'm planning a trip on the coast of VA. Got a room on the strip. I be in tune with the strength. I took a side on straddle the fence. Calling him, he gon' come through in the clinch. Pay to my ties, ain't no wonder I'm rich. And then ain't no doubt he alive. It's only because of his grace I survived. So I gotta testify to hear the truth speaking. They get petrified while they proof seeking. I've been rectified. I'm in his booth preaching when I could've died in him I reside. The devil trying to take me, but Christ ain't gonna let me go. This world gon' try to break me, whatever, I can't let it show. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. The devil trying to take me, but Christ ain't gonna let me go. This world gon' try to break me, whatever, I can't let it show. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. Holy. Holy. Holy.
Hello? Yeah, I'm coming. I'm on my way. Alright. Love you too.
And what that meant to me is, don't worry, Bob, this acting thing's going to take care of itself.
Gotcha.
And while it took years, but it really did.
Right.
And that kept me through all the other things. In fact, teaching school again, going back into the Army, retiring, all those things is in the back of my mind. I felt I had a direct promise from God that don't worry about this acting thing, it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I want to encourage everybody to really consider what he said, because I think sometimes, which is one of the times when, I think this is kind of what you see in me, you see the anxiety, you see this and you're like, calm down, it's going to be fine, which I when you get around him, you just feel this calmness. I'm a hyper guy, but when I'm around him, he just makes me calm. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, because what it is that you can tell that you really did have that encounter and trust God. You know, but I think a lot of times people are moved by what comes against them. You know, the struggles, the and thens I call them. You know, the unexpected. Or even what Peter went through when he was walking on the water. He saw the storm, and it's so easy to kind of shift what your perspective is when you're looking at the storm. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, but I want to show you guys the trailer from the movie the short film, Lucifer and the Father. Check this out.
Lucifer.
I am.
I thought it was time we had another conversation.
You want to hear about how lost and stubborn your precious creation has become?
You have tried over and over again to muddy those waters, to cloud their understanding of my perfect love.
My goal isn't to get them to be with me. My goal is to keep them from being with you.
Your time of destruction is coming to an end.
Why? Why?
Jesus, my son. The move of my spirit is powerful, and there is nothing you can do to stop it.
Oh, but I have. Over and over again. I have used so many to stop you.
Oh, so that's why my church no longer exists?
No, I did. I stopped what could have been. I think our little chat has come to an end.
All right, we are back. You got to see the trailer for Lucifer and the Father. We're talking to author and actor Robert Shepard, and we're also here at the FFX Theater. By the way, I want to invite you to be a part of the live studio audience. We don't have one now because we just got started, but we really want to have a live studio audience where we can interact with you. You can ask questions about how to get started. So we're going to, all the guests that we've had on, we're going to have them come back just because we want everybody to experience. Bring your family, bring your friend. We want everybody to be at the family fun experience. So we're here with Robert Shepard, and I got to ask you, there's some pretty big shoes to fill to play. What do you do when someone asks you, I want you to play God?
Well, you have to think about it for a moment or two. Right. You know, how on earth am I going to do that? You know, but actually, you take one step at a time. You get a script. You start memorizing the script. You start then thinking how that would be verbalized, how you would say it, and so you just take one step at a time. And I really felt honored to have the opportunity to be in this film.
Yeah. Okay. So, no spoilers, Duke. I'm talking to myself. No spoilers. The way your portrayal of God, definitely sarcasm is part of, you know what I mean, his way. But and I love that. But I gotta ask, you know, do you think God has a sense of humor?
Oh, he must. He has to when he looks at us.
Because I felt that. I felt you did such a great job at showing that, you know, it's not a spoiler, but you did such a great job showing that it's not God versus the devil. That that the devil is one of my pets.
Yeah, and I would not take him nearly as serious as he wanted me to take him.
Right, and it was so fun. I guess I don't think it was meant to be funny, but seeing that reality was funny. Like someone being like, you know who I'm the man, and you're like, you're just not, bro. That's exactly what it felt like. What were some of the challenges? Because you talked about coming from the Ozarks. Technically, you went back to the Ozarks to film this, right?
Well, we went to Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, so it was. The challenge was the locations.
Gotcha.
Sean Justice, they are absolutely gorgeous, but getting them there is and the crew and the camera and all of that, we had to walk and go up hills, and you know, I'm not the youngest guy around, and I'd be holding on to somebody's shoulder and somebody'd be, you know, getting them down these trails, and it was pretty incredible.
I gotta tell you, the cinematography, Sean Justice, wonderful job. And like the backgrounds and the way the choices that you guys chose.
Hello, I'm Sean Justice with Justice Pictures. For over 30 years, we have served corporations, not-for-profits, and small businesses producing commercials, promotional, training, and PR videos. No project is beyond our capabilities. We've been successful by closely listening to our clients, then using our professional skills to deliver a project that meets their needs, on time and on budget. We apply our years of award-winning experience, from large training video series for governmental organizations to promotional fundraising videos for ministries and not-for-profits. In this, we utilize interviews, new footage, old footage, photos, dramatic recreations, captured events, animation, and many other elements to tell the best story, your story. We bring decades of experience and know-how. Uniquely, we also draw on our experience in producing multiple feature films, documentaries, television programs, and music videos. The cinematic skills developed, along with the digital red cinema camera that we use on all projects, will help your video to stand out from the rest. Some of our past clients include Columbia Sportswear, Bank of America, Kiewit, United Parcel Service, and many others. Industries include banking, construction, high-tech, food processing, clothing, service, retail, robotics, and governmental. Whether you need full production services such as scripting, shooting, or editing, or just one of them, we can help. We're here to partner with you to communicate what you need to get across with those inside and outside of your organization. We are currently expanding our reach into the Hampton Roads area and look forward to speaking with you. Please find out more about our services at justicepictures.com/corporate or email us at production@justicepictures.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Were absolutely phenomenal. And I'm glad you brought that up about the challenges. What is some of the most challenging roles that you've had to take on?
Well, I would say that would certainly be at the top, right there. That was, and it was challenging in several ways. One was the dialogue. Because, as you know, when you watch this thing, there is basically monologue after monologue after monologue. And Sean makes it work well because he's got these great visuals that go with it. But from an actor, you know, even though it's a short film and you have to go basically, so that was also probably one of the most challenging things about it.
But it still seemed like an action movie because these two forces that we are also familiar with, you know, in the psychological warfare, it's literally like listening to heavy metal watching a chess game. That's the intensity that you feel is like, whoa, where is this going? And it also brings forth a lot of revelation, you know, even when we think about those times of giving up, who's really behind that? Who's really trying to stop us from moving forward? And that the movie does a great job displaying that. I do want to ask you to help other actors out there, people who are trying to get started. You told me a story once about how people who were, and I was really concerned about it because I know in the creative arts, people are passionate for this opportunity, but you told me about the behavior that you're supposed to have when you first start off on set. And I'd like for you to talk about that a little bit, about like the non-speaking roles and the speaking roles, because I have young people who have actually like, oh, I'm going to ad-lib, and it's like, you know, I was like, man, we really got to put that in check before that breaks out. So talk to that a little bit.
Yeah, I think if you want to be a professional actor, then I think there's a couple of things. One, you need to arrive on time. You know, they shouldn't be having to wait for you to get there. And also, you should know your lines. You really know, and do your best to know your lines the way the scriptwriter has scripted them. Now, there can be exceptions. And in another movie that I made called Past Shadows, there was a scene that actually wasn't fully scripted, and the director said, what I'd like you and your scene partner to do is I'd like you to ad-lib it. And so he gave us the permission to, and it turned out to be a very powerful scene, but it was all done in coordination, and everybody agreed that's what we're going to do.
So you're not for people that just say, this is my opportunity to, oh, this way for him, just do it.
I tend to think from my experience you wouldn't be on the set too awfully long.
From what I've seen, a lot of my friends who are in the industry, they'll say, man, can you pray for me? I'm going in for this. They'll get it. And then they'll call me a couple months later, man, I got fired. What'd you get fired? Man, I saw an opportunity to speak, or all I said was, here you go, sir. And it was like, that wasn't in the line.
Well, one of the things you need to understand is what you're there before. And if you have been signed on as an extra, then you simply are, you might get a close-up. You may be right in front of the camera, but you have no authority to speak at all unless
Just
they
when people-
give it to you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robert Shepard. America has approximately 580,000 homeless people. My area of Virginia estimates 5,783 people living on the streets. A Google search can show the homeless number in your state. You can make a difference. Please send a message that God loves the homeless and has not forgotten them. Go to www.comingsoonjesus.org and click on Fundraising. Purchase the Coming Soon Jesus t-shirt or hoodie. The CSJ team delivers the shirts and hoodies to homeless shelters, churches, and even directly to the homeless. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can help the homeless. Please go to www.comingsoonjesus.org. Purchase a t-shirt or hoodie for the homeless today. God bless you as you bless the homeless.
If you can imagine how I am, you know how I am. It's not that I'm dramatic at all. But I was telling people, it was yesterday at the 4th of July party. I was telling, I guess the day before yesterday, but I'd have my headphones. I got my first headphones on, and you know, because when Annie would start singing in the movies, like everyone just knew the song she was singing, and they just start singing along.
Sure, the butler, the maid, the cook.
Yeah, and it didn't matter if it was just a good day or a bad day. So when I got my first headphones on, I'm listening to the music. I knew that when I turned around, there was going to be a musical behind me, and instead I'm standing in the middle of the interstate and people yelling at me going, "Get out of the road, you idiot!" And this is a total true story. And I got my headphones taken from me because like, we can't give you anything. You know, look at me now, Mom. But I remember that. But Annie is an all-time favorite. I love the soundtrack.
Well, I watched it multiple times and I like it too, but I actually like the simplicity of the stage version. I thought, I liked it, but I thought it was kind of bloated because they added things, and the stage play has such a nice simplistic, and you got the songs, you got the things, so I'm probably a bigger fan of the stage than I am the movie.
Since you brought that up, is there, do you prefer behind the camera or stage? What do you, I mean, what do you say you?
I probably prefer camera to do acting on film.
Yeah.
Although it's always interesting, and I've done several things, and like 1776, and shows like that.
Okay.
But I probably prefer.
Yeah, I think that I stay away from plays to a certain point because I'm wondering who's going to mess up their line. Like, it's for the total wrong reason. Like, we have our next guest coming who has an amazing story by the name of Darnell Phillips, and we're going to be right back with him. But I got to tell you guys, it's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for being with us. Make sure you guys check out Mardi Gras Man. He's going to have his information up here so you can support him. Anything he's doing, make sure you get the book, Delay is Not Denial. Guys, this is going to be an amazing endeavor. The Mardi Gras Man is going to be amazing. Make sure you also get ready to see Lucifer and the Father, which we will be featuring at the FFX Theater coming soon. I won't tell you the date, but coming soon. We'll be doing a showing of Lucifer and the Father. See you guys in a minute. We'll be right back.
And come visit FFX.
Absolutely. Come visit FFX. See you guys. We'll be back.